Yo, it's me, CSCOTT, baby, and I'm back with my review for the 2015 film Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd, Michael Pena, Corey Stoll, Michael Douglas. Evangeline is directed by Peyton Reed. Alright, this is another one, like Guardians of the Galaxy, where I wasn't sure what I was going to think about this. I knew of Ant-Man because in the Avengers United They Stand cartoon, Ant-Man was the leader. But it was the Hank Pym version of Ant-Man, not Scott Lang version. So I was iffy on what they were doing with this. Because I was ready for Hank Pym. Because in the comics, Hank Pym was the one who created Ultron. So when they had Tony Stark do it, it made sense for the MCU. But where was Hank Pym in all this? And then when they announced that it was going to be the Scott Lang version, which I never heard of, Hank Pym would be in the film, but he would be older and played by Michael Douglas. And I was like, what are they doing here? They decided to, instead of the traditional version that I've seen before, this version is Scott Lang, not Hank Pym. So interesting. And the first scene in the movie here has a well done, de-aged Michael Douglas from 1987. That's the year I was born. And yeah, and he's telling S.H.I.E.L.D., you're not getting my stuff. And basically, he leaves S.H.I.E.L.D. And here's the thing. Okay, so they de-aged Michael Douglas, who's like 70. They aged up Peggy, and they have John Slattery's white hair, whatever, as Howard Stark. Then you have this guy who's supposed to be a representative for S.H.I.E.L.D. And when you see him later in the film, it looks like all they did was gray his hair. If that's all they did, I mean, I don't know, maybe they de-aged him in this, and this is the way he looks, but he's not that old. I don't know. He doesn't look like there's much aging done to him or de-aging, whatever. But to just change his hair color, that's okay. Anyway, so the story here is that Scott Lang is a newly released convict, and he gets fired from Baskin Robbins, and he can't find a steady job, so he decides to talk to his roommate and former cellmate, Luis, and to do jobs. And the job that he's been hired to do is to steal the suit from Pym's house, and it was set up by Pym. Now, okay, one thing that's confusing is that, so, and maybe they explained it, but I've never gotten it all the times I've seen this. Hank Pym set this up, right, for him to steal the suit. So he steals the suit. And then his daughter is the one who calls the cops. We find out that they're working together, though, eventually. Why did she call the cops? Did she not know it was a setup? She called the cops. I don't know. I always thought that kind of ruined things in the film, is that she calls the cops. And we got Derek Cross, played by Corey Stoll. I think he does all right in the role. As maybe one of the lesser-known Marvel villains. I forgot what it was called. Yellow Jacket. That's right. He does all right, I guess. Yeah, and we get a confrontation with... Okay, so I remember sitting in the theater watching this, and he goes to the Avengers' new hideout to get something. Oh, what Avenger are we going to see? Isn't Captain America, Iron Man? Is Bruce Banner going to walk out and say, hey, what are you doing here? We get Falcon, who, according to Avengers Age of Ultron, wasn't an Avenger till the end of the film. Wasn't worthy enough to be in most of the film, but yet he's worthy to be Ant-Man. Just to set up something in Captain America's Civil War. So they kind of went for the cheapest one they could get. Just saying, or all the Avengers out there, Falcon. I think maybe if they went for a cheap option, it would be either Falcon or War Machine. When it comes to easy, who would be there. Even have Eric Selvig, who you showed was there, but I don't know, just Falcon. I'm not saying anything bad about Falcon. We'll get to my feelings towards Falcon when we get towards Avengers Endgame, believe me. But here was just like, Falcon, okay, use any Avenger and you pick Falcon. Fine. And yeah, he had a pretty good fight. And so the plan here is to steal the yellow jacket suit so so Corey Stoll can't sell it. Here's my thought about this and how it's different. You know, he's known as the Yellow Jacket, you know, Derek Cross. But this villain, he didn't build this suit so he can go world domination. Everybody points out Michael Keaton about how he didn't build the suit for world domination, and he's one of the first villains to not do it for world domination. And he's out there, he's doing it to get money. He's doing it to help his family. He's doing it for money. He's the first to do that. He's not the first to do that. Derek Cross didn't make the Yellow Jacket suit for world domination. He made it to make money. He was going to sell it to S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra, whatever. He was going to sell it. He didn't do it for world domination. He only had to put the suit on at the end because he was forced to. When Ant-Man was trying to steal it, he put it on so they couldn't steal it. And he was fighting Ant-Man in the end. He's not a villain that built the suit for himself. He didn't build it for himself. He built it to sell to someone. With the intention of building more to have an army. You know what I mean? So it wasn't about world domination. It was about making money. He wanted to make money. And it irks me that people say that Michael Keaton's Vulture was the first to do this. That this was groundbreaking the way they did this character. Ant-Man did it first. Ant-Man did it first. I mean, come on. He wasn't after world domination. He wasn't after trying to take over the world. He just wanted money. He wanted money. Sure, it was for himself instead of his family, but he wanted money. That's all he wanted, man. And people say that Michael Keaton's Vulture was the turning point of this, and it was amazing because of this. Ant-Man did it first. I'm just saying. The characters in this film, I love the characters in this film, which is why I was excited to get back for Ant-Man and Wasp, and it just didn't disappoint at all. Paul Rudd has been, dismissing Halloween 6 Paul Rudd in either version. Although, I think he's better in the producer's cut, but the theatrical version. But, excusing the performance in both of those versions. He's been one of those kind of actors I kind of like. I Love You Man, and, what other movies you've been in? Knocked Up, movies like that, where he's, even in movies where he's in a bit part, like, I haven't seen Anchorman, but maybe the 40-year-old version, or maybe in smaller parts. Even in Friends, as much of unnecessary I think his relationship with Phoebe was, believe me, I'm thinking about doing a video on that. I'm thinking about, I'll explain it when I'm done with this review, but Paul Rudd, he's a good actor, and I like him, and he's good for this role. And then you have Michael Pena, who's good for the role he's in. You have David Dastmalchian, T.I., they're good in their roles. Evangeline Lilly is great as Hank Pym's daughter. And Michael Douglas is a great Hank Pym. He's a great actor. Don't dismiss that. Rest in peace, Kirk Douglas. But he's great at this role. And then you have Corey Stoll, I think is a great villain. People just, again, they dismiss him. I think he's great. He's sort of a silent villain. As at first you don't really think he's like he's partners with him, but you see him. Oh, he's playing the villain, but he doesn't want to be a villain. Not really. He's not one of those mustache twirling take over the world villains. He just wants to make money. He's not forced to become the actual villain of the film until Ant-Man pushes his buttons too much and he's forced to put the suit on so they don't steal it. You think what I mean? He's not, and you think, but he goes after Ant-Man's daughter. That's after Ant-Man stops his sale. Okay? If Ant-Man If they had not done their plan to stop the sale, he wouldn't have been in a position to go after Scott's daughter. So think of everything they've pushed forward in this film led to Derek Cross going after the daughter. So think about that, right? Think about that. He didn't want to be the mustache twirling villain. They forced him into it. I kind of like that. How he was just trying to make money. That's all he was trying to do. And they forced his hand into getting in the suit and trying to get revenge and going after the daughter. They pushed it. They created this villain. Ant-Man created his own nemesis with this. He's not coming back, I know, because he's gone. But I'm just saying. He created his own nemesis in this film. Sure, he was already sort of a nemesis, but he wasn't like... It's like, you know, Superman cartoons where Lex Luthor didn't have a problem with Superman until, like, the Super Friends and stuff. They had an origin story where they didn't have a problem with each other until Superman came to the rescue and accidentally caused Lex to lose his hair. That kind of origin. It's that kind of origin. And yes, that was an origin in the cartoon, in one of the cartoon Super Friend cartoons or something. That was an origin for Lex Luthor. Maybe not in the comics, I don't know, but that's, you know, you create your own villain. It's like Smallville. Clark and Lex were friends, but the more he pushed Lex away, the more Lex started going towards and having to go his own way to figure out what's going on. And then he still wouldn't tell him, and he pushed away. And yes, the Luthors are inherently evil, but Clark contributed to that. He's not scot-free in that whole, you know, Luthor villain thing. I'm just saying, yes, he was already an antagonist, but he wasn't a full-fledged villain until Hank Pym and Ant-Man and all them pushed him that way, forced him to get in the Yellow Jacket suit and fight. That's when he became the full mustache-twirling villain. I'm just saying. The effects in this movie, I think, are pretty good. They show the ants, they show them shrinking and stuff and getting back to big, the whole water thing in the bathtub, I thought it was cool. Very good, the whole, how he runs towards the door, the keyhole, jumps in, very cool. I like this movie. Nothing bad about this movie. Line. This is the first one I don't really know I have a line. Maybe Baskin Robbins always finds out. Maybe I like that one. Baskin Robbins always finds out, bro. You can't have Baskin Robbins. Baskin Robbins always find out, bro. I do think that manager is kind of a dick because he acts so nice to him and he's like, well, of course I'm going to have to fire you. It's like, you just praised him for sticking it to the people and now you're going to fire him. Like, 'cause he's a felon. And it seems to me like he even said he did some digging. So he wouldn't have even known about it if he hadn't purposely gone looking. So I find that like you hire someone and then you already hire them. You go digging before you hire them, not after you hire them. If you go digging after you hire them, you're purposely looking for a reason to fire them. Whereas if you go digging for, you know, personal information beforehand, you're just looking for, you know, you're just looking to find out. You know, you want to know about this person. But if you hire them already and then go digging for information, you know, stuff that could incriminating information, and you find it, you're just looking for a reason to fire them. So why hire them to begin with? It just doesn't make any sense to me. That just never made any sense. Oh, you want to take a mango fruit blast, which he does. Fruit blast. But that customer he talks to is a fucking idiot. Oh, I'll have a burger. There's no burgers. Oh, whatever's fresh and hot. Hey, could you take care of this idiot? He just doesn't understand Baskin Robbins. There's no food. Baskin Robbins used to be next to an A&W when we lived here, but then they changed. No, it wasn't. It was Baskin Robbins, and it was Dunkin' Donuts, which made sandwiches, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. This movie's pretty good. What else to say? The post-credit scenes, they tease Wasp, you know, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and then they tease for Civil War the scene where, I know a guy, that scene, which is in Civil War. So anyway, like I said, what I'm gonna do. Oh, my rating. Duh. Ow. My rating. It's gonna be an 8 out of 10. I really enjoy this movie. It's really good. Yeah. You're gonna find that a lot of these are gonna be 8, 9s, or 7s. Not all of them are gonna be 10s exactly, but 8, 9s, or 7s. You know, because they're high. Even the worst ones, like Iron Man 3 and Thor: Dark World, are 6s. So probably not going to be lower than a 6 with these, because I love all these movies. So, what I'm doing, I think I'm doing a series of videos where I talk about a problem of a TV show, or like my top 10, things about this show. Because I have some things about the show Friends I want to talk about. So I'm thinking about doing one on Friends, and maybe How I Met Your Mother, shows that I watched a lot, and go over Supernatural, which I don't know how I'm going to do that, but just like that. And I want to relax the rest of the night, so I don't know if I'll do another one. If I do any more, it'll be one more for the night. But I don't know. I want to relax. Just relax, play some video games, stuff like that. So this might be the last one for the night. I don't know. And tomorrow you'll have a Flashback Friday, and you'll have more MCU reviews. I'll start Phase 3. This is the end of Phase 2, by the way. So that's the Phase 2. So start Phase 3. Phase 3 is a lot longer. So, yeah. So, until then, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.